of Sizzle After Dark, and this is Out and About with me and my co-host, Kia Inc.
What's good, people?
If you are wondering who this beautiful young lady in the middle is, this is R&B Diva, Miss Lil Mo. Yes, ma'am. Rapper Lil Mo. Your resume goes on and on and on, so I can call you a lot of stuff.
Hey,
how are you? And welcome to Miami.
oh man, I was just out here like a couple of weeks ago, so it was almost like a welcome back.
Oh, welcome back. Okay, so what are you doing here now? What are you doing?
Working on a project. I'm gonna start on some of my music tonight. Gonna listen to some music and just get back in the studio, as well as I'm out here for a project in Fort Lauderdale called the Keep It 100 Tour.
Mm-hmm.
It's about bridging the gap between not necessarily church, but letting people know it's all right to be like in touch with God, whoever you serve. It could be Jesus, Buddha, Allah, your tomato at the house, whatever the case may be, just bridging that gap, because they say this generation of the millennials is lost. And so I want to let them know that it is cool to be, just be positive for one, but to just know that you have to have a covering over your life. Like, if you want to be an atheist or don't want to believe in it, suit yourself. But at the end of the day, I do feel that there's a higher power that you have to give an account to.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about Lil Mo.
Shoot, I don't know what they already don't know.
Oh, well, I have questions, but we'll have to kick into it.
Rap, reality TV. I'm a wife, a mom. Child, I've been through a lot. Entrepreneur. Shoot, what I don't do. Morning show radio host now.
Okay, what city?
In DC.
Okay.
DC,
okay.
Maryland, and Virginia. It's WKYS. Actually, we call him Uncle Russ, but Russ Parr, like, basically let us take over his DC station, which is like the number 3 market in the country. So it's just like from going from afternoon drive to morning show, like that was a big step. Not only far as like in tune with the demographic and just like your talk game, but shoot, just getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning,
right,
when you hardly don't get no sleep, and just being a mom and being a wife and just taking all that into consideration and just like making it happen. It takes dedication, it takes focus. You can't just say, all right, I'm with it. Like, it's hard work, and I've always been a hard worker. I've always been a superwoman, so this is just like a new platform for me.
Yes,
okay.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
You know, with social media now, you could download the free app. You can listen live online. Back in the day, you couldn't do that.
Yeah,
right. If you didn't live in the city, you couldn't hear me. But now, like, we have people from London, even people down in Miami, people all over checking us out. So that's love right there.
That is absolutely love. And I heard that you mentioned that you're a jack of all trades, but you should be used to that. You have no complaints.
Yeah, that is the truth.
You wear a lot of hats, Lil Mo.
I do. And I didn't realize how many I wore until I took a break, and I was just like, okay, let me just fall back a little bit. I think every artist is owed that, I guess, like after 10 years working hard. This will be almost my like 17th year in the game.
18,
so it's just like,
right?
18.
Well, yeah, professionally. That is true.
Yeah,
but it's just like my first album came out in 01, so it's almost my 15-year anniversary for being like the Superwoman. But like
Superwoman.
98 with Missy Elliott, Hot Boys, and 99 with Ja Rule, Put It On Me. Then in 2000 we did Superwoman. Then the album came out in 01. So yeah, it's been some time.
It has.
What do you attribute your longevity to?
Just the fact that I really be out here. A lot of people, they not really out here. They have people giving them, oh, this is what's how. No, I'm really out here. I would say in the streets. I wouldn't say like I'm out here just trying to infiltrate the hood or trying to infiltrate something that I'm not. Like, when it came to reality TV, I was always myself. When it comes to music, I always do it myself. Like, I have a team around me, but it's just like, you gotta stay current. You gotta keep up with the lingo. You gotta keep up what's popping. But for the most part, I always consider myself ahead of the time. So like stuff that I was doing like 18 years ago, I was just like, yo, that's crazy. Tattoos, braids, and stuff like that. That was like, oh, we don't want to scare off the consumer. Now people just got tattoos all in their mouth.
And yes,
I'm like, man,
it's the attraction. So if you don't have it, you should be worried.
Yeah, so it's like just the fact that I attribute that to my longevity and just staying humble and staying real and staying focused. I never let too many people get in my ear. I didn't really, well, honestly, I didn't switch up a lot. It was just like, whoever rolled for me, I'm still there. If not, oh well, I just keep it moving. I'm not one of the people that just try to force relationships. I'm one of the people that if you must have quit. Shit,
don't quit.
Can we curse on here?
Yes,
okay.
Can we?
Yes.
I want to
Can we curse?
I want to PG right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I do have to say this to you. I fell in love with you, of course. You were actually on a show with me. I was Too Loud Crew. and you had performed with us. If I'm not mistaken, it was over in California. But I fell in love with you then. But I have to thank reality TV for allowing me in your world. I watched you shed a lot of tears. I've watched you smile a lot, laugh a lot, but baby, when you did that monologue,
oh man,
that's my bitch. Forget Shantae. Oh, don't get me wrong, Shantae Moore is a beast with that microphone, but y'all hear Lil Mo? Y'all can hear Lil Mo?
Oh man.
Oh, you are absolutely amazing with the microphone. And you, when you did the monologue, I can see that came from your core.
Yeah.
You have some pain bottled up in that little itty bitty body.
Yeah, that is true. When we did the monologues, we had a guy from Philly. His name is Fred. He came in, and I was like, first of all, I was like, I don't want to do no damn monologue. Don't nobody want to hear that. Because I was just like, no, to be or not to be. Like, I know how it is. Everybody, I have an attention span of a gnat. Like, I have an attention span like my children. Like, I can't sit long. My anxiety will start kicking, and I start be like, okay, what we doing? I need to, like, let's keep it moving. But then when he told us, he was just like, no, just pick out parts of your life that maybe people don't know, that you haven't sang about, that you haven't talked about, and let's bring it to life. And the whole process, he was just like, yeah, you're going to feel, you got to go back to that place and remember how it made you feel and bring that out, because it will affect and make people feel a type of way. And honestly, that will draw people closer to you. I was like, no, maybe I'll just get up there and I'll sing a couple of songs. But it's like people so used to hear me sing that when I actually got to talk through it and relive it, it was just like, yo. And it was crazy that a lot of men were attracted to my story. Not only like me being a female, but it was just like, people just like, yo, that's crazy. I had one of my old heads that was there, his name is Big Chuck, who I've been knowing for like the past 20 years. He was just like, when I told him about the incident where I was assaulted, he was just like, I remember that. He was like, I still want to go back and bust that nigga shit. Like, it was just like to hear people just get emotionally attached to it. I was just like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't know the effect that it would have on people. And it's crazy. The demographic of the show is like 25, 54, which would be middle-aged, working class, African-American women. But to hear young kids saying that I helped them, to hear men saying, and just to hear the younger kids and people that didn't know my story, like my own father didn't know half the stuff that happened.
Oh, wow.
So he cried to hear my mom and to see my sister and to see my own daughters like, Ma, I didn't know. It's like, yeah, I got to release a lot. And then after that, it was just like, hey, now y'all know. And then I wound up writing a book about it, Taming Little Mo, and putting that out. And people were really more in touch because we had a time limit. But with a book, I really got to go in depth. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so R&B Divas, you would say that was a help. It helped your career along, or you think so it was a positive.
I think it was a positive. I always use positive and negative as a positive, because not only did it give me a platform, it gave me the exposure that I need to show that people I was still out here. But it also let me release a lot and just be around people that would be considered my co-workers or my comrades, because a lot of people think just because you in music, all y'all is friends, and I'm just like, no, because in real life there's a lot of people I'll be like, no, I don't want to hang with them. But then when you're put on a show and you have to deal with people, you just have to show how you would work it out.
Right.
And some people I want to throw off the cliff. Some people I'll go on tour with.
Okay. Well, speaking on that brings up a couple of questions I do have.
Okay.
Because I see about a beef. You had a small beef with Prince, Ja Rule, and then Keyshia Cole. So we're going to get on Prince first.
Okay.
What actually triggered that?
Well, first let's say Prince, because I heard he had the flu and that, like, he was back and forth in the hospital.
Yeah,
whatever this strand of flu is no joke. So prayers up to him. He's a legend. I totally respect him. And it wasn't actually him, but you know when you sensationalize a story because of the media, they always blow it out of proportion. Right. Back in, what's this, 2016, 2014, we were in Essence Fest. And the way they had it set up, they had the media room like to the side, and you walk down, and then you can go behind the step and repeat. Okay. But what it was at the top of the steps, it was Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, and some other people, and they were congregating right here. But the security at the top, which was police and other people, they said go down this side so you don't have to wait, because people were taking selfies and stuff like that. And I had to use the bathroom. Okay. And so at the time it was just my fiance, but now it's my husband. He was like, all right. So I usually don't make a move until he say go. So we walk and we minding our business. As soon as we got to the end, we was like, yo, all right. So what we got to do is, so we don't make a scene, because they let a lot of people back there with passes. I was like, we gotta go through this way to get to the bathrooms, which is like trailers. Soon as we started walking, another policeman was at the bottom. And so he was just like, wait, you can't go. And I was like, No, they just throws at the top. I was like, listen, and I told them, I was like, if I pee on myself, I'm going to throw my underwears on you. It's going to be problems. Because one thing black women don't do is don't touch me and don't make me pee on myself.
Right.
And it was like, you know, it'd be right there. You got to pee. If you laugh, it's over.
Yeah.
And being as though that all my children were born via cesarean, when I have to go, I really have to go.
Okay.
So I was just like, yo, I really have to go. They was like, and so I'm like, what are they, like, what's the holdup? So all of a sudden I see someone that's my height with like an afro saunter through. Like, the way he walked was like, remember how Tupac walked out? And I was just like, are you serious right now? Like, y'all holding us up for, not saying not to hold up for Prince, but I was like, ain't nobody gonna mess with him.
Right.
I'm not thinking about nobody back here. Yo, I gotta go to the bathroom. Like, what is y'all doing? Y'all drawing right now. Like, y'all doing the most. And I hate when artists do that. Nobody can't clear the way. Bitch, it's not even that serious. Like, I don't know what artist separation is, but everybody that's back here has a past. Right. So obviously, if they didn't do that with Jesse Jackson, who's marched for civil rights, or Al Sharpton, who's fought for all rights and business thing, why is y'all gonna do this for Prince, whatever his real name is? I was like, are y'all serious? So it was the police, and I was just like, yo, y'all out of pocket. So I finally made it to the bathroom. But then I had like, then they give you free drinks, and I'm drinking, and so I'm talking to my friends. I'm like, yo, they just held up the joint, this and that. And so somebody ran with the story. It was like, Lil Mo, this is Prince. And then they said Prince had tweeted talking about her clothes ain't even match. But the bitch ain't saying it in my face. So I was like, it didn't count. Right. No, but like, I love Prince. I love Purple Rain. I love everything that he stand for musically. So it wasn't against him, but it was against the police.
Situation.
Yeah, and I was just like, yo, you don't do that to people. Because I've seen times where people have been basically having anxiety attacks, damn near heart attacks, and they've held up lines for artists. What if that person would have died? So what he was going to do? So I was just like, yo, when they do stuff like that, that's, to me, that's out of pocket.
I got one question. Did you pee?
I made it to the bathroom.
Okay.
Like, I held it, but I can't say. It was, thank God, like, plus I had on shorts, and I was like, if I pee on myself, it's going to be all down my leg. My mother and them was there. It was just like, I was just like, you just don't do that to people. All that cleared away and stuff like that. Like,
it was extra.
It was extra.
It was going too far and doing the most.
Like, far as Ja Rule, we been squashed that. Like,
that's what I was gonna ask. 'Cause that was like, you know.
It was just like years ago, and it wasn't even. Of course, it's another thing where it was just miscommunication when we did the songs. When I did Put It On Me, because the admin people didn't hand the paperwork. I'm thinking, yo, this song is #1 in the country. We 91 million in the audience. I know my check gonna look crazy. I'm retiring, and then when I didn't get no check, I felt like a way, and I'm just like, how does that happen? But everybody goes through stuff like that in the industry. So what happened was, like, years later, I remember that he wound up getting locked up, and I was just like, yo, like, that's messed up. Like, he has a family, he has a wife, he has like a whole like foundation that he takes care of. So anytime you pull the father, which is the head of the household, from that situation, the whole family suffers, and they have to wait for him to get out, because with him being the breadwinner, like, a lot of these people, they win the bread, and they tell him, well, I just want you to stay home, take care of the family, and maybe run my foundation, stuff like that. So I knew that his family would be without him, and I was just like, you know what, anything could have happened, and I don't want that blood to be required in my hand, because at the end of the day, we was like family. Like, we toured for years together. We did the biggest songs of his career, I was a part of. So it was like, once he got out, they had a was it a birthday party? I believe it was a birthday party in New York, and we just so happened to have the same publicist. And he's like, you should come through. I was like, you think I should come? Because I don't want them to treat me or any old kind of way, cleared away, whatever. And we got there, and like, we hugged, and I got to see Herb, and I got to see everybody. And I was just like, yo, if I ever, one thing as a righteous woman, I think that it behooves us, which a lot of people don't do because they're so prideful. And I don't want that to be the cause for me to fall. I was like, if I've ever done anything to offend you, then I apologize. Right. Because you get in your feelings. I'm a girl. I'm allowed. I have a vagina. I'm allowed to, you know, go through things. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, and after that, we just let it go and let it ride. And so I've seen him in passing and stuff like that. It was just like, yo. And once we embraced, it was almost like nothing ever happened. Like, yo, how the kids? Like, well, you know, I done had 7 since then. Like, it was just like that. So that was like a good way. And then as far as the other person, there's no such thing as beef. What it is that with we have a radio show, and we have this thing called That's What I Heard. And y'all ever saw Martin with a lady that rides with Cole's mother, and she always hearing gossip? That's what I heard. So we use Bonita Betrell, that's the gossip from In Living Color, but we blend the two. So it's me and our show producer named Britt Waters. And every morning when I'm in at 5:45, she prints out our clock, the gossip, and whoever's going to be on the show. So I'll look at it and I'm like, what did this person do? And then before, even though she'll type it up, what I'll do is she'll read the story and then I'll just give them a child. You know what I heard? So when the story came up about old girl, because I'm not giving no more free publicity because people from her team have reached out, and that was the ultimate disrespect. So that will be dealt with accordingly. Because one thing I tell my staff is don't get involved in industry stuff, because when I get off air at 10 o'clock, none of this stuff exists to me. Right. Like it's at 6:37 and at 8:37 we do a gossip section because I say the stuff that people think, and then after that it's like chat. So the story that came across the feed was, it said Bow Wow and his friends had said that she had egged his car. Right. So I was laughing. I was like, wait, who still eggs cars? That's what teenagers do. And we was like, behind the scenes, like, if you gonna egg somebody's car, you freeze the eggs or you wait till it's real hot, because people don't know that there's something, the protein in eggs, that if it gets on the car and it's hot, that ain't coming off. It's done, yeah. But if you egg somebody's car when it's frozen, it freezes off, that ain't coming off. So they said she egged the car. They said that she egged the car, and I was just like, it was odd to me. If you're supposed to be prolific, first of all, what is you doing dealing with Bow Wow? Bow Wow, you know, because I've known Bow Wow since I wrote the remix to Bounce With Me, and I worked with him in the studio, and I'm just like, he's still young, he's still out here. He have a daughter and a daughter's mother that we saw him publicly go through it with. Let him deal with that issue. You have enough issues in your life going on. You have a husband, and this is allegedly, that you're not even divorced from. Either repair that. Don't try to be like Lamar and Chloe and them. Yeah. You're not a Kardashian. Stop doing stuff that's taking away your strength. You're supposed to be a queen. You egging car. I done been through marriages and niggas that don't. I ain't egging nobody's car. Now I get people that do it, but as far as me in my house, I'm not gonna do no nut shit. Yeah. So that was nutty to me. Then it came back. And I was just like, wait a minute. So she did this for Bow Wow, but not for your own husband? Who you say he was sleeping with a thought baby. If you caught him sleeping with a thought or a stripper or whatever the case may be, first of all, everybody in the club ass would have been beat. I'm just like, no, when it's your husband, that's a covenant. Yeah. Right. You made that covenant with God, and until you get that paperwork, that's still your husband. So I was just like, as far as a wife, because I know, the reason why I speak on this, because I was like, I know what I did wrong. And I was like, yo, you don't have to do that. You don't even have to do that, but take it back. I know, baby. I know, Slim. I was signed to Cash Money. Remember, she had put a video on Instagram and took it down where she was crawling all on the piano and added him? Yeah. Bruh. Yeah. Who does that? And why? Like, it's never that serious. But I've seen people, and it's not just her. People do stuff for people that could care less about you.
Yeah. You know, that's what we do. That is absolutely what we do. But then when I give tough love, everybody's, yeah, girl, you going through. No, that's not okay. It's not, because at the end of the day, we have this thing called a playlist. Nobody's calling for your songs. None of your songs on the playlist. Right. There's a problem with that. If you doing all this, but you better have a song coming out. Yeah, exactly. If you get all this publicity, that better be your just publicity. Stay home and be a mom. Because right now, then the other story was, and I was just like, come on, son. Another thing came across it, and I said, this is the last story I'm reporting, and this is it. They said a boy had released. I don't be after 10 o'clock, I'll be on Ball Alert or some sites, and I'll look and laugh because I like to see what people be saying. The comment section be having comments are serious. Because everybody's comedian on Instagram. But they was like, a boy had released a story and said he saw her doing coke in the bathroom. And I was like, first the piano, that's your third strike. Somebody intervene, because right now you have a lot of people around you that's letting you self-destruct. So I was just like, if nobody sees the declination, I see it, and I refuse to let somebody go downhill. So I'd rather check you or call you. I'll be like, yo, you doing coke in the bathroom? That's as low as you can go. Right. If you're gonna do the shit like how when I used to do it or I used to smoke, do the shit in the comforts and confines of your home. Yeah. So when you like everybody out, that's an artist, let's be real. Everybody done did some drugs. Absolutely. Now let me ask you this. Speaking of your home, because we're gonna have to go ahead and wrap this up. Okay. You have been. I've been known to make mention of side pieces in my day. Okay. But my question to you is, if I may just delve a little bit, you've had quite a few issues with your husband. I remember you saying in an interview that you guys had
that's my old husband. I'm not with him.
Your old husband. But I think this is very valuable to my listeners. You were having threesomes. You were doing the most, because this is your husband. You're well within your right to do whatever you do with your husband, whatever keeps him happy.
Yes. Or keep me happy.
So I remember that you mentioned your husband had a woman in a threesome, and you found out that that woman was actually somebody that he had been already sliding with.
Yeah.
That's hurtful in itself.
Yeah.
But now, you gave some advice that was very pertinent. You said anytime, let's see if I read this right.
Okay.
Anytime you with a man, you with your man and y'all in a threesome, if that woman don't flinch, when she been there before.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Tell my girls about that.
There's a lot of things that I had noticed that actual day, let me take it back, because it doesn't affect me no more. Before when it was happening, I was just like, yo, that's crazy.
I was scared to ask that because I didn't want to open an old wound.
Oh, nah, that wound closed. That wound doesn't exist. He doesn't exist. I don't have his phone number. He don't have mine. Like, when I say doesn't exist, after I did, honestly, the monologue and wrote my book, I let all of that go. I buried it and kept it moving. Because I don't want to keep on talking bad about him and stuff like that. But I remember that day we was playing a game called, we played this thing called the drinking game. So we had some rock, Henny, everything. And it was just like, you ask a question, or it's like, however we played, it was like, everybody got to take a shot. So this one particular person just kept on taking shots. And so it was me, her, two other people that came from their church, or that's like a part of their singing group, and one of my other assistants was there. And so I was just like, he had got so drunk, he wound up crawling down the steps to the basement. But he said, even though I was drunk, I noticed everything that was going on. And he kept on saying to me, he was like, yo, well, now we say this bitch is drunk, but he was like, yo, she doing the most. And I was like, okay, I was like, don't do that, because at the end of the day, she's still an artist, and we all still gotta work together to some capacity. Right. So I remember I was standing up, and then she just kept on saying his name, and she was like, "Where's he at? Where's he at?" So I was like, "Bitch, I was like, bitch, I don't know. He's around here somewhere." So all of a sudden, I saw her like lay on the floor in the kitchen. It was rolling all around. So I was just like, "Well, I hope she's okay, because if this bitch have an alcoholic seizure or whatever in this house, I'm throw her ass out the back." Because if we live, I was just like, what's going on? She started acting real weird. So next thing you know, all right, we stopped playing the game, and the two guys had left. And I was like, well, where did they go? They said they went to the store, because we lived in the middle of nowhere. So you literally have to drive in town to go get some more drinks or whatever. But they wound up leaving, or one left and one came back. So whatever the case may be, I just remember looking up, and she was gone. So I was like, all right, we had a studio now, so maybe they're in the studio. So I go upstairs, this bitch in my room. The fuck? My kid's not even allowed in my room. Okay. Then I had this big white comforter, and I believe it was, oh my God. You know when you get a white comforter, nobody allowed to touch it. She threw up on my comforter. Oh, So I was just like, all right, so maybe we need to get her some water or something. And then, so then I was like, all right, we got to get rid of this comforter, because not only is that biohazard, that's disgusting, it stinks. So I was like, well, go to the bathroom and like clean yourself up. And I was like, well, we have toothbrushes. I always have extra amenities just in case people spend the night. Next thing you know, she comes back in, and he's like, so what you want to do? I'm just like, well, I'm already turned. It is what it is. But then I was just like, me and my Scorpio mind, I was just like, she was just doing a little bit too much for this to be the first time. So my ass, get in my bag. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Okay, I know it's not no problem, but you just a little bit, you're not hasty, but you're just a little bit too hype, bitch. And then I noticed, I was just like, all right, so while you doing this, he do this. And then, usually once the part go right here, or maybe it's just me, because all my babies were born via cesarean. So once anything go down there, I'll be like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Just give me a minute. But there was no,
no flinch. She knew what the curve was.
Exactly. So then I asked, I was like, yo, you missed that? And she was like, yes. I said, bitch, you guessed it.
Did you drag her?
Not at all.
Oh.
I left.
Okay.
Went back to LA, did another season of R&B Diva, and said, it's over for you.
Dang.
Then I was accused of, oh, you breaking up from this person, you breaking up the home, this and that. Okay. But I knew before, because it was other things that led up to it, but that was just the ultimate.
I was just about to say that you don't just leave just like that. Yeah, that was
it was
you
other
build up.
things. But I knew there was a lot of people who would do anything to be an artist or to have him record them. But I haven't heard anything from them since I haven't had no music out. So I'm just like, hey, I hope y'all happy over there. Y'all chose sides. That's just up. Because after that, I went through a period where I was just like, that's why the second season of R&B Divas, everybody thought I was all mean and stuff. I was like, no, I wasn't mean. I was dealing with stuff.
Right.
And then when I had to fly my kids out there, and they was like, do you want them to be on? I said, listen, my kids are brutally honest. And when my daughter sat in my face and was like, Mom, I'm glad that you left because we didn't like him, I was like, whoa. I had to, like, we took like an hour break so I could cry and gather myself together, because at that time I had just had my son Jonah. So we do have 2 biological kids together, but they don't even claim them. Like my new husband, that like, so for like a year and some change, I had to, in Maryland you have to be divorced for a year. Actually separated for a year. So I separated myself from that situation. I was like, here we go, another one bites the dust. Now I'm gonna have to start from scratch. And here we go. I don't feel like going through this and answering the people, asking questions, this and that. I was just like, yo, so what I gotta do is I gotta get myself together, but I gotta do it for myself.
Right.
I said, because honestly, everything I did in any relationship, I did it just to make sure everybody else is happy. You good? You good? You all right? But nobody would say, Mo, you good? You straight?
Right.
You all right? You need anything? So I was just like, you know what? It got to a point I had to literally just fall back. And I fell back not too far to the point where my husband now, it was like he's been trying to get at me for the past 15 years. And I was like, but you was a baby then. Like, why you was trying to holler?
Now.
But he waited. And I was just like, yo, that's crazy. So, like, after that, once I stopped looking, that's when it fell in my lap. Yeah. And I'm not going to say everything just falls out the sky, because some people have been waiting and it's going to take them forever. But for me, I waited, I prayed about it, I separated myself, I humbled myself even more, and I took time away from just as far as being in a relationship, because that's all I know. I call myself 12 years a slave, because for 12 years I was married. So I went from one marriage before, that one was evil, I was in another one. This time I waited, and then like he was right there.
You are absolutely awesome.
Like people say, like, yo, you could tell, like everybody that knows, like, yo, Mo, you got that gloss at what glow? Bruce Leroy was like, yo, you could tell that you're genuinely happy. And from 98 up until 2006, it almost took me 20 years, but I could finally say I'm happy. And I was looking at old pictures. I'm about to put these pictures back out because I still look the same. Hello. So I mean, I honestly can attribute all of that for just waiting and just letting God break me down, because honestly I can't say it was all his fault, because I've done things too. But at the end of the day, it was never intentional. My get back, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna get you back, and it's going to be a standing ovation, but that honestly doesn't make it better. It doesn't make it right. And it honestly didn't make me happy at the end of the day. What made me happy at the end of the day was seeing my kids happy, and just getting to the point where I was just like, you know what, hey, que sera, sera, whatever will be, and whatever you allow, that's what's going to happen. Absolutely. If you're like, I don't want this, I'm not dealing with this, you got to put it out there. It's a lot of people who have signs and stuff like that. They, no, it's going to be a no, it's not. Right. You nip that thing in the butt right then, therefore get out of hand. And once you create that monster, you got to kill that monster.
Yeah. Absolutely. I tell people that all the time. You
Especially
can't.
with the threesomes.
You
can't.
can't.
I had a friend like that, and it was like everything was all good when it was just the 2 of them. Yeah. And she wanted to spice it up, so it's like, oh, let's bring another one in. Yeah. And he never wanted to stop. Once they got married, she thought it was stopping. And he's like, nah, what's crazy? I want to keep doing it.
I think that with threesomes, they're fun, but it's always one person that either catch a feeling. It's one person that always go too far when it's just like, dude, you already know what it was supposed to be. Or you're not supposed to be talking to them after the, are you kidding me? You know what? It's supposed to be, you go to damn Cancun and be like, I don't know whose dick this is. I don't know what's going on. You're supposed to leave it there. Right. But when it comes in your house, whatever that spirit or whatever that energy is stays there. And then you always want it. Because I'll be honest, it feels good. But at the end of the day, it's just like when it's in your marriage and then the person almost requires it, that's when it's going too far. Because then you're like, well, what about me? What if I want to bring in a whole basketball team? Nah, so but at the end of the day,
so not fair.
A lot of people always cross the line and they disrespect, and that's when
things go left.
Yeah.
We thank you so much, Lil Mo. Oh, you are amazing.
Thank you. Spirit is, I can just feel your energy.
Exactly. And
I'm shy. Nothing
shy. I can tell that you have a nurturing spirit. You always want to help. You're a helper. Yeah. Like you helped the girl that was. When she asked you, did you beat her ass? And I was ready to ask, okay, well, how much was your bond? Because that would have went on over here. Well, I just got out 6 months ago. Yeah. But she was like, no, I just left. Yeah. And that's noble of you, but you've been through exactly. You've been through so much that your strength is built beyond. that being said, thank you so much for joining us.
We appreciate it. I can't wait to get that damn Crabman 305.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, you wait until you get that Crabman. Can we go out there and grab a bite? Yeah. We're going to have Crabman 305.
I said, no, this was just so I didn't die, because I could, you be so hungry you can't even see.
But that was a part of the deal. Crabman 305 sponsored this, so of course
thank you.
You got it going on.
Thank you.
We're going out here to get Crabman 305. We love you, Lil Mo. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Sizzle After Dark. I'm Sizzle.
Kia Ink, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye. Hi, I'm Sizzle of Sizzle After Dark. You are funkin' with R&B TV.